The Telegraph is a classic vinyl shop. We like to pride ourselves on being an old school record store. Our store is maybe a third new releases and about 2/3 used. We also carry some CDs because some people haven't caught on to the glory of vinyl again and are still using them. We'll have local bands play, sometimes doing solo stuff, which can be pretty interesting because you have, some of these guys who play in bands and you only ever see them at full volume, and you get them in here and they do something a little more stripped down.
On the record that you recommended last week.
Yeah.
Are
you going to get married?
I'm going to pick up both of them now.
Oh, are you? Great. There you go.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you again.
Yeah, that was kind of, I don't know.
Dead Mouse? What do you think about Dead Mouse?
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard the Dead Mouse. It looks cool. My favorite new release
Amanda Palmer.
Right now it's Amanda Palmer.
It's Amanda Palmer.
And the Grand Theft Orchestra, yeah.
Yeah, I'm losing my indie rock roots to my Americana,
See,
whatever
yeah.
you call that thing.
Yeah,
that I'm getting.
yeah.
It's a growth on the back of my neck. I just can't seem to get rid of it.
It's going to morph into like strange hat or something on top of it.
It's really important to engage customers in small business. I've learned that over time because I really wasn't a retail person at all before I got into this, and people are anxious to interact with you. I mean, they're psyched to talk about music, they're psyched to talk about your store, talk about New London, talk about whatever's on their mind.
I know you're gonna miss me, sweet darling. I'll be going away.
We run a small label called the Telegraph Recording Company. Release works by bands that are sort of up and coming. They're just getting going. Usually it's their first or second release.
The shop here sort of gives a brick and mortar sort of legitimacy and, if you'll pardon the expression, edifice to the intangibility of a record label that sometimes exists.
My wife's band, Daphne Lee Martin and Raise the Rent, released their first record last year. Her new one is coming out in just a couple months, so we're looking forward to getting that out there into the world. There's some nice stuff in there, but a lot of it's like sort of beat up in a way that I can't do a lot with.
A lot of our acquisitions come to us from people who are trying desperately to unload somebody else's collection. Someone's moved on, someone's passed on, someone's passed it off to them, something like that. In this case, like we got 116 of them here. I'd reckon we got less than 10%. It's, a lot of the covers are really shot. There's some water damage. You don't want to come in and try to justify buying something that looks like this, that's kind of like chewed up and fallen apart and, might have been in a flood someplace. CDs, the lost child of history. It's so strange, because on some level I kind of like watch that get born, evolve, and then, go the way of the dodo and the dinosaur, all in this short space of
I've
my
watched
life.
it with cassettes at this point.
Yeah.
I watched cassettes. Yeah. I remember 8 tracks.
I had an 8-track player. The CD was a nice middle ground. It gave us what we needed because the cassette really wasn't doing it. This way you got a little bit of art, and strictly speaking, you treat them right, and they really will last almost forever.
Yeah, but nobody treats them.
Nobody treats them right.
Nobody treats them right. They're disposable.
Yeah.
It's disposable,
Yeah.
and that's why they're going away. I think.
Yeah.
And you can make your own. You can burn your
That's
own
exactly
at all
it.
times.
You no longer have to worry about portability of your music. That's sort of built into the consciousness. And so now we can have these laying around, schoolboys in disguise. And these, right. So you enjoy
But we
this
prefer
at home.
these.
Exactly. Because this sounds better. But at least you can take that with you, and you don't have to worry about like this bouncing around in your car doing something crazy on a turntable. It was never practical. If you want to view your art, you don't take the art off the wall and chuck it on your back with you. You take a picture of it on your phone and you put it up as your wallpaper or something like that.
Right.
And the objet d'art stays behind, and pristine, but at the same time you get a chance to share it with everybody around you and say things like...
when you're at home, you're engaging the music. You sit
Exactly.
down and listen to a record.
Exactly.
You read the liner notes. You flip the record.
Yeah.
You're not just putting on shuffle,
Yeah.
on your iPod or your
Yeah,
computer.
yeah, exactly.
It's okay. It's alright. Don't let the lightning keep you in.
I feel like we're providing service as much as anything. Like we're filling in a gap that was, empty in our community for a long time. There wasn't music stores have always been places where you congregate and talk about music as much as it is buying music. I don't care if people are downloading stuff. I think that's great. I mean, the more people listening to the more music, the better as far as I'm concerned. But ultimately, at some point, you want to have something to hold and cherish and to pass on and to share with your friends and your family, and vinyl is the way to go with that.